In this section, we'll be talking about how to train your executive assistant or your admin assistant. You're going to receive a copy of this PowerPoint presentation. Go ahead and rewrite it, restructure it to fit your needs and your benefits. Don't forget that this is probably the most important training manual for you, because your executive assistant or admin assistant will work for you. So when you rewrite this program, go ahead and rewrite it to fit your needs. What you're going to hear me doing during this presentation is give you an example of what it sounds like and how I would personally train my exec or admin assistants. So let's get going. Hey guys, welcome to the orientation. I want to tell you a little bit about what an executive assistant is and what we're looking for, okay? So I know some of you have asked, so what is an executive assistant? Well, an executive assistant works with high-level executives at companies to provide top-level assistance. They are trusted with high-end business and sometimes personal information, in which they coordinate and oversee while providing an extensive level of support. EAs, executive assistant, which you'll see that a lot during this training manual, must possess a wide range of skills and extensive knowledge in order to be truly effective. What are responsibilities? Responsibilities are, kind of giving you a job overview here, is screening calls, managing calendars, making travel arrangements, meetings and event arrangements, preparing reports of financial data, training and supervising supporting staff, dealing with customer relations, are some of the, in a whole, what type of responsibilities we're looking for. As for requirements, we require strong computer and internet research skills. We require flexibility. That's very important. With our busy schedules, it's very important that we can get a hold of you pretty much anytime we need to. And excellent interpersonal skills. Project coordination experience is important because you'll be dealing with a lot of my own personal projects. Have the ability to work well with all level of management and staff. Is very, very encouraged, as well as some of our important vendors. And sensitivity to confidential matters more than likely will be required. We're going to do your pay structure is going to be structured this way. We do a performance appraisal quarterly and annually. This is an hourly pay. The pay structure is $12 to $14 per hour, depending on experience. We do a 90-day review with a possible raise from $15 to $18 per hour, depending on the review. You're going to get quarterly bonuses and holiday bonuses. Again, this is all dependent that you meet all of our expectations. So skill and requirement, which we've talked a little bit about requirement, but this is a little more in depth. People skills. You'll be working directly with at least one person per day, your boss. With this being said, you'll become the face people speak through to get to your boss, right? So you will also become a main contact between your boss and his staff and his management team. So people skills are very important. You need to be able to relay your boss's message to whoever it is it needs to be relayed to. Computer skills. Having the basic knowledge of PowerPoint, Word, Excel, as well as knowledgeable in emailing and printing and faxing and document filing and creating, and just general basic computer skills. Communication skills. Your supervisor will more often than none expect you to take notes of his request and then relay that information to the rest of the staff. This is why good listening and communication skill is important to ensure that the information is relayed properly. This has a little bit to do with people skills, just in a different way. Organizational skills. One of the most important part of being an executive assistant is being able to keep your boss' schedule organized. This is done by scheduling meetings, traveling plans, billings, and client matters, and so on and so forth. The skills that we're talking about, you'll learn a little bit more throughout this manual, but these are some of the things you'll be seeing in the organizational part of this job. And one of the important things to remember is an executive assistant is only as effective as the executive he or she assists. So You do your job for me, what I do for you is just as important. The mission statement is to provide our customers with the fastest, most effective, up-to-date sales and marketing programs delivered in a friendly environment while giving each customer the highest level of personal service and attention. And these are our 5 core values. Integrity. Don't lie. Be honest. Very, very important part. If I'm going to trust you, if you're going to trust me, I need to trust you, and always be honest with me. Accountability. Take responsibility for your own actions. Okay, and again, this is another important part in our core values, is take responsibilities for what you do on a daily basis. Diligence. Careful and persistent work is key to success. Perseverance. Don't let obstacles hold you back from your goals. And discipline. Set goals for yourself. Set time frames and be your own worst critic. If you can put together these 5 core values into how you work, you will be successful at this job. So our projected 5-year vision, this is an example of what we plan to accomplish within the next 5 years. So in the first year, we want to have our first location in Tampa Bay, which is where we're at now, with an annual revenue of $1 million. Let's skip forward 2 years to our 3-year vision. Our 3-year vision is to have 2 locations, one in Tampa, one in Raleigh, North Carolina, and working only 20-30 hours per week with an annual revenue of $5 million. Skip 2 more years up to the 5-year vision. For us, is to have 3 locations, one in Tampa, one in North Carolina, and one in Boston, working only 20 to 30 hours per week with an annual revenue of $10 million. This is to give you an example of the growth that we're going to have and the expectations we're going to have on you to help us get these goals accomplished. So the core competencies. So an executive assistant will work in their boss's shadow, pretty much, right? Almost invisible to their surroundings, while acting with little to no supervision, managing most of all daily workflow. That's kind of what we're looking for as an AE, is being able to you're there but you're not. While doing this, you're managing everything that needs to be managed that your boss or myself cannot put our hands on at the moment. Developing great working relationships. So immediately building a relationship with your boss's current clients is pivotal to how easy your job could get. That connection will build the trust between you and the client, and therefore making it easy for them to speak with you, knowing the information will properly be relayed to your boss. Another way to build great working relationships is networking. Networking events are very big to get yourself known in the community, right? So networking events are another way of making your presence known in the business world. Your boss doesn't have time to meet with other businesses all the time. So when attending these meetings, you have the opportunity to meet new and current clients, as well as educate them about what you do, how you do it, and how it can benefit them. Doing your job properly means having a solid business management plan set and ready to use no matter where you work, right? If this is the type of job you want to do for the rest of your life, you want to be able to have a structure, and you need to know within yourself on how you like to structure your work. I think being professional is a big part. Being timely. Sometimes you're going to get bosses that aren't timely, and it'll be up to you to make sure they are. And most 99.9% of people are not organized. So having your organizational skills will really help make your boss's life a lot easier, and also help run all daily operations easier. And making sure your boss shines. This is the most important part, right? Your boss is the reason why you get paid. He works very hard to look good in front of other clients. By helping him accomplish being professional, being timely, and being organized, you're going to help him shine throughout all the business. Following the core 7, which I apologize, this should be 9. Following the core 9 will help make you a pro at your job. And let me show you what that is. Number 1, you're easy to adapt. Be able to deal with spontaneous change. Always be a glass full type of person, even if everyone else around you is a glass half empty kind of person. And be able to deal with the daily things that happen on a daily basis, just the spontaneity of change, of a client calling and not being happy, a something happening with the staff, your boss being late to an appointment, whatever it may be ready to adapt with things that happen right away. Number two, your judgment, your conclusions, your decisions, and your determinations, right? So demonstrate your talent to foresee an issue before it happens and prevent them from ever happening by taking action. Be able to take over and take action when your boss isn't around. Don't do a job or answer questions you don't have the answer to. Instead, make sure the task is taken care of by someone who can. Time management. To-do list is one of the big things you need in time management, and time management will be the most important part of your job, is managing your time and managing your boss's time. So put together a to-do list, right? Put together a to-do list of all the things you need to do that day, maybe all the things you need to do next week. Prioritize them by important, not important, what's urgent, what's not urgent. This will assist you and help you prioritize your day and manage your time effectively. Always have a calendar handy. Google Calendar is a great service that you can use to keep yourself always scheduled properly. Have a calendar on your desk. Use your phone. Again, Google Calendar is a great tool to use. And link your calendar to your boss's calendar. Know what he needs done. Know how he needs it done and when he needs it done. Your time management is just as important to your boss, right? So set time aside every day to refocus. Doing this will make you more productive and raise the level of quality in your work. Every day you're going to get so many things thrown at you. It is important to schedule. You want to put this in your schedule. At 2 o'clock today, I am going to take 20 minutes to myself to refocus, look at what needs to be done, and try go and prioritize it one last time before the end of the day. This will help raise the level of quality in your work. And here are the benefits of being good in time management, I should say. Stress reduction. Easier workload becomes a lot more easier to do, right? Become more productive. All these things come together when you're not stressed. And when you have great time management, you become more productive. You enjoy your job more due to the lack of stress. And you start achieving goals more frequently. So if you're the type of person that right now, you're achieving goals, if you have 10 goals during the day and you're achieving 3 of them, right? Well, the reason you're not achieving 6, 7, 8, or maybe 10 of them is because you're not properly managed with your time. So good time management will help you start achieving goals more frequently. Client services, don't forget that the clients are the reasons why the reason why you get paid, why you have a job. These clients help support the business, so making sure they are well taken care of is a top priority. Customer service in all business is a top priority, and being the voice for your boss, making friends with all the clients and making sure they're happy, again, will help your boss shine. Know your business. Know your business. This is the most important part. Understand the core of what the business is about. Not only will help you be a better assistant, but will help you make those crucial decisions when needed. Those decisions that you have to make when your boss isn't around, well, the only way you can make those is to understand the core values and how the business works. So know your business. Take the time to study how your boss works, what his values are, and how he wants things done. Will help you be better when that crucial time comes. Be a great team player. Being a great team player is a lot more than just Oh, hey, high five, good job. No, it takes great people skills, great focus, and great attitude to be considered a great team player. You must be able to listen and have healthy debates to further the progress of the company. Okay? Everybody has ideas. Everybody has creative thoughts that they want to pass by. Listen to them. They won't all be good, but just by showing the team that you're willing to listen and take everything into consideration makes you a great team player. Number 8 on the core nines is being tough. AEs normally get the worst of the boss if the boss is having a bad day. Don't let this get to you. You know, your boss appreciates you more than you know. This is when it's important to have tough skin and know where, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Same goes for the client. They aren't always going to be happy, so keep your chin high and be the support system for the company. And number 9 of our core 9 to make you a better AE, or EA I should say, is develop your routine. Having standard procedures to help you get things done will assist you with your time management. So pretty much what you want to do is you want to be able to create a checklist and templates, and these are going to help you always having to start things over from scratch. Have a base of how things are done in your routine. Your boss might already have some of these done, so go ahead and ask him. Ask your boss, do you have some of these things already done? And what's not done, create them for yourself. They'll make your life a lot easier later. Your routine should be created according to the daily reoccurring task. So if every day at 7 o'clock this is happening, at 9 o'clock this happens, at 11 o'clock this happens, go ahead and create your routine around those reoccurring tasks. By doing this, when something big comes up that's unexpected, it'll be a lot easier to manage. And what to get from this training manual? Again, it's a short manual but very important. So you need to rewrite everything you heard in this manual to make it more effective for your staff and when you train them to be great, executive assistant or admin assistant. And it's important to reiterate the fact that you want them to be organized. You want them to take detailed notes. You want them to have great people skills, and their job is to make you shine as a boss. Help you use your time wisely. And tell them to take time for themselves. That's the most important part. As a boss, sometimes we don't realize how much work we actually put on our executive assistants. So tell them to take time for themselves to kind of recoup and gather up, and they'll love their job a lot more. And follow the core 9s for success. Those core 9s, if you can build your world around the core 9s as an admin assistant or an executive assistant, you will be successful at this job. I hope you guys learned a lot from this manual, and again, thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this. So good luck. Thank you. In this section, you're going to learn on how to train your telemarketing reps and your appointment setters. You're going to receive a copy of this PowerPoint presentation. Go ahead and rewrite it to fit your business needs. What you're going to hear me do is you're going to hear me talk as if I'm teaching and going over this packet with my own personal telemarketing reps and appointment setters. So let's get started. Hey guys, again, welcome to this orientation. Let me start by telling you a little bit about the job description and what we're expecting, right? So we have a telemarketing position open, so it's a telemarketing representative. The overview of the job is to phone clients and offer them an opportunity for business growth by scheduling one-on-one strategy sessions. The special function of jobs are very basic, again, reading telephone and zip code directories, call prospects, prospective customers by operating telephone equipment, influence customers to opt into our sales funnel by offering strategy sessions by using a prepared sales script, and answer specific questions to confirm and record names, addresses, and email addresses and phone numbers. Maintain operations by following policies and procedures, reporting needed changes to your assigned supervisor, and contribute to team efforts by accomplishing related results as needed. Qualifications for the job. Again, you would report to your assigned supervisor. Qualifications for the job are high school graduate, excellent verbal communication skills, excellent listening skills, must have emotional stamina to be at your best with each client, must be result driven, persistent, great customer service skills, prospecting skills, be willing to sit and actually research the people you're going to talk to. Let sales motivate you and learn how to handle rejection. Always be professional and have a great knowledge of your product. And what we're going to, the training required, which we will go over in this packet, is how to overcome objections, right? Using scripts to ask the right questions. Learn the core values of the company, very important. You can't speak to people about your business if you don't know it yourself. How to handle client problems and what to do in case of an emergency. So let's talk a little bit about job compensation, right? So performance appraisal, we're going to do a quarterly and annually appraisal. The compensation is a base commission, 1099 form, so that means you're an independent contractor. The commission structure is a $25 per completed appointment set. And number two is $50 per sales made off that appointment. So pretty much you come in and you set an appointment for $25. That's it. When I go and sell after that, when I go sell the deal that you made the appointment on, you get $50 for doing nothing but setting the appointment. So that's a great deal, isn't it? I apologize if you hear my baby in the background. He's crying. Babies will be babies, but the job must continue. So let's keep going. The alternate compensation would be $25 raise per sale made after 90 days. So you do a 90-day review. You must exceed the sales quota that we have in place for you, which we'll go over, and you get an additional $25 per sales made. So that means you now get $75 for the sale, and you don't have to do anything but set the appointment. Fully paid company cruise for 2 people 2 times per year. To get this, you must surpass the sales quota 3 out of the 6 months to qualify. Additional is a $100 bonus for every 10 qualified appointments made. And then you have other opportunities to make money in the fashion of friendly competitions at work, just bonuses for Christmas, and so on and so forth. Mission statement is to provide our customers with the safest, most effective, up-to-date sales and marketing program. 5 core value: integrity. Don't lie, be honest. Accountability. Take responsibility for your own actions. Diligence. Careful and persistent work is always key to success. Perseverance. Don't let obstacles hold you back from your goals. And discipline. Set goals, set time frames, and be your own worst critic. By using all these 5 core values, if you implement this into your business, into your work, you will be successful. So here's a projected 5-year vision. In our first year, we want to have a Tampa Bay location, which we have right now, with an annual revenue of $1 million. Let's skip forward 2 years. In our 3rd-year vision, we want to have 2 locations, one in Tampa, one in North Carolina, with a working no more than 20-30 hours per week, with an annual revenue of $5 million. And in our 5th year, we're looking to grow big. We want to have 3 locations, one in Tampa, one in North Carolina, one in Boston, working only 20 to 30 hours per week with an annual revenue of $10 million. So our sales expectations. We're expecting you to make 25 calls per hour. The appointments per day would be a minimum of 2. And the people entered into our sales funnel will be 8 per hour. So of the 25 calls you make per hour, we're expecting you to put 8 into the sales funnel. And we're expecting you to get 2 appointments minimum per day. Garbage appointments must have an 80% conversion rate. And setting quality appointments, which would be a client who shows up for an appointment, is a must. You do not get paid for a client who does not show up for the appointment you set. There'll be a 30-day group evaluation and a 90-day individual evaluation. So be easy. I hear you asking, how can I be easy to deal with? Well, business owners are very busy and their time should be respected. Know what you want to say and what you want to talk about before you even walk in. And here are several little ways on how to make a better impact. So your email signature, your voicemail, your business card should all have the same number and email to make yourself consistently easy to reach. When handing off written information about your product, or when talking over the phone about it, make sure your product information is detailed and clear to understand. You never want to leave your prospective client with any unanswered questions. Creating a pricing chart with different packages really helps. Again, make sure your prospective clients completely are question free. And never stop searching for new ways to be creative, but always be simple and easy to deal with. What do we do and how do we help our prospects, right? Or an online marketing consulting firm. We help prospects with their lead generation, lead capture, lead nurture. We take this and we help them convert more sales, we help them maximize their clients, and we set up their metrics and analytics so they can then turn around and know exactly what we're doing for them and how it's working. So the business success principles. Number 1, personal responsibility. Take active responsibility for your success because nobody else can do it for you. Follow the damn instructions. We spent tons and tons of money and time in making sure what we do and the process that we take work. So don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just follow the damn instructions. Number 3, your goals. Know what you stand for, why it's important to you, where do you want to go, and how are you going to get there. Setting goals for yourself is a key structure in becoming a great telemarketer or an appointment setter, Number 4, value. By providing quality value, price becomes completely irrelevant. Well, you're the first person people are going to speak with. So that value of being polite, being kind, knowing what you're talking about, showing that you have something to give them in value. When they come to me and I have to sell them, at that point, you've set quality value. I can build upon that, and at that point, price becomes completely irrelevant. And always know your numbers. Okay, if you know your numbers, know what you're supposed to get paid, know how many calls you've made, this will help limit the amount of mistakes happening in the long run. Details are key to success. Keeping detailed notes of each interaction with your prospect. Keeping these notes will not only help you create the perfect marketing plan, build you a detailed client database. Having a detailed database will help sales start to come more frequently and more easily. So what type of detailed notes do you keep? Well, what kind of marketing are they doing? Have they tried services like ours before? And what if during the conversation it goes off topic and all of a sudden you start talking about maybe something you saw on the sports channel, right? Maybe baseball. Keep notes about who their favorite team is. When did they budget? Well, when did they do their budget? Do you know what their budget is? Who makes the final decision when it comes time to marketing purchases? Who are they currently working with? If not us, then who, right? I think that's very important to know and ask them. Then if you work with these people, how can we gain your business? And what are their favorite hobbies? Again, if you go off topic, maybe you talk about fishing. Maybe fishing is their hobby. Well, next time you come along, all these notes will help you build a warmer, maybe an icebreaker for next conversation, and it'll give you a better chance for success. Rehearsal creates winners. Getting a business owner on the phone, cornered in an elevator, or you catch them before they get in their car is the easy part. But what you do from then, that 1 minute you have can be the difference between a huge payday or nothing. A well-rehearsed telemarketer can say more in 1 minute than most can say in 7 to 10 minutes. As a telemarketer, you become the voice of the company. You are the first person our future clients will hear from. Every word you say, the tone in which you use it, will get a specific response from a prospect. If you choose a different tone or word, you'll get a different response for the exact same question. By being well rehearsed and knowing your product, you can rest assured no questions will have been unanswered when your prospect hands up the phone. At this point, winging it should never be in your repertoire. Before you pick up the phone to dial Mr. and Mrs. Smith, you should follow a few easy, very simple steps. Know which scripts you want to use and make sure you know them well. How do you want to start the conversation? Right? I think that's very important. How are you going to break that ice? Write down all possible answers to your questions so you can have every and any answer ready for them before they even ask it. Having a few objection scripts written and rehearsed will separate you and make you the best telemarketer around. Make sure you put some time every day to practice your scripts and your sales pitch. Practice not only helps you with what you want to say, but also helps you know more about your business and how to sell it. Practice your phone calls with your loved ones, with your friends, or even with your own answering machine. Ask your family, some opinions on how you sound, or listen to your own machine and be your own worst critic. The most important question you should ask yourself after you hear yourself over an answering machine is, would I buy from me? If you would have hung up halfway through, then maybe we need to reconfigure how you want to speak when you leave a message or when you talk to a prospect. How to sound natural. Sounding like a salesperson is exactly what you don't want in today's sales world. People are very well educated and know what a typical salesperson sounds like. I just heard you asking a question. So how do I keep this from being me, right? Well, number one, be rehearsed and know your product. I can't say this enough, so I put it again. Be rehearsed and know your product. Number two, Dale Carnegie once wrote, "Remember that a man's name is the sweetest and most important sound in any language." So be kind. Use your prospect's first language. Be polite at all times. If you speak with a gatekeeper, be polite to them too. You never know when that gatekeeper might be the one to help you get your foot through the door. Number four, time is money. So be short. Don't talk about something you know nothing about. And listen, and get to know your prospect. If you ask a person what brings you into the car market, they'll tell you their life story about why they're buying a car, what happened to them in the past with their car, how many cars they've had, and what they're looking for. This gives you almost all the answers you need, right? So listen, and the prospect will tell you what they want and what they need. So the keys to getting your foot in the door, and what I'm about to tell you is reality. If you can't deal with this, then this business is not for you. There is no secret word, phrase, or script. If you're expecting to pick up the phone, dial a prospect, read a script, and you're going to get a sale and appointment right away, this business is not for you. These scripts do not exist. No will become a common theme. It takes 7 no's from one prospect before you get that one yes on average. So go back to the core values and be persistent, and the deals will come. And be a pro when handling brush-offs. Getting a yes is clear results of how well you handle the no's. And as you become a better telemarketing representative, you will see those 7 no's every time you talk to maybe 4 no's. And hopefully maybe 2 no's, to where possibly you make that one phone call where it's a yes right off the bat. Now we're in the important part of this section, building the script. As you can tell in the script, I've left a lot of blank spaces and things written in red in parentheses, words written in red in parentheses. The reason why this is like this is because I want you to write the script. So I put a base, I gave you a base to start. Now I want you to write the script on how you talk. Everybody talks different. Everybody uses different slangs, right? So make it easy. Write the script in your own words. Interaction is key to getting prospects to trust you. Don't rush into your pitch. This will make you sound like a salesperson. Make sure you let your prospect know that you don't want to take up too much of their time and that you will be quick. Business owners get a lot of calls and emails every day. Respect their time. This will help you establish that very most important connection. So you would say something along the lines of, hi, don't forget to use the person's first name. Hi Joe, this is Eric with your business. I know you're a busy person, so I'll be brief. Right there, you're respecting their time. Then quickly state the value proposition and ask a qualifying question. You know, Joe, John, Peter, Paul, Mary, we provide, give them a value to your, give them the value of your company. So we provide value to a company like yours by helping them, and then short little brief description on how we can help them. Be upfront and put your prospect on the spot immediately by asking a question that will lower their guard. Well, first and foremost, let's ask you this. If I promise to only take 5 minutes of your time, or you can say something like this. I know you're busy running a business, so I won't keep you very long. Again, you're respecting their time. To them, their time is very valuable, and time is money. Number 4, if you don't ask for what you want, you'll never get it. This is where you ask, I'd like to send you a copy of my free report we created to help their type of business like yours. We've identified the top 10 signs why companies like yours are leaving business outside their doors. This free report is designed to help bring people to you, making your time and money better spent elsewhere. What is the best email I can send a report to? Handling objections. Congrats, the decision maker is on the phone, but most of the time the prospect immediately determines that you're a salesperson. They didn't even listen to a word you had to say. And of course, here comes your first objection. This type of brush out will happen more times than none, even to the best of the best. You'll hear stuff like, I'm not interested, or I've got that covered, don't call here again, a-hole. Most telemarketers get stumped here, and the call ends. 90% of salespeople, and I say salespeople, but this, you're considered a salespeople, you're trying to sell them an appointment, fail at this very spot. But you're not that person. You will rehearse for hours before calling. You'll already have all the questions and answers that you need answered, right? So you're ready to push right through the objections, making you a top-notch salesperson. Here's 3 easy things to remember when you're brushing off an objection. Don't seem confrontational. Number 1. Take the original message and use it again, but tailor it to correspond with their objections. Do this without being very defensive or confrontational again. And you can only do this if you're well rehearsed and you know your product. Welcome their objections. Ask them, do you have any further questions? This shows you're willing and wanting to be honest, to listen, and that together you can surpass any obstacle. So here's an example of a common objection and how to handle it. The prospect will tell you, I'm not interested. You'll say, well, that's exactly why I'm calling. As a business owner, you're very busy and probably don't have a lot of time to get involved in all the details and headaches of marketing your business. And you know that's probably why you hired a person to work on it. But when was the last time you took a minute to analyze what you're currently doing to see if it's effectively working? Not to take any more of your time, I'd like to send you a copy of our free report and let you decide if what you read resembles what your business is doing. Does that sound fair? And at this point, you could keep adding on, or when you say, does that sound fair, and you get a yes, you would say, I have a 2:15 on Thursday or a 10 a.m. on Friday. Which one is good for you? Again, you're determining what time this call is going to take place, not them. Here's a different but common objective that you hear quite often. I don't have the time right now. So you would say, name of the prospect, again, use first name. I know you get approached by many people every day and you're very busy, as am I. And let them know, you know what, you're busy, but I'm busy too. There's a lot of people that want to talk to me. So I'm not here to waste your time. I'm confident that 30 minutes of your time is all I need to show you how my marketing plan can help your business stand out in today's market. Is that worth a small amount of your time? Yes. Great. Well, I have a 2:15 on Thursday and a 10 a.m. on Friday. Which one of these is good for you? You know, there's a lot of typical objections that you'll hear most of the time when you make a telephone call. You'll hear stuff like, I'm not interested. Just send me your information. We're all taken care of. I'm too busy, or I don't have the time, or we don't have the budget. That's one of the big ones. We don't have the budget. So here's an example of I'm not interested, which we just did a few of them, but here's an example. That's fine. Many again, don't forget to put the person's first name. That's why it's blank. That's fine. Many people I speak with tell me the same thing as well. Again, you're agreeing with them, okay? You're letting them know that you understand their problem. But as they learn more about our services and they see what I can really do for them, they were glad they took a few minutes to talk to us. So one thing that would be a good fit for you is, and then you give them a quick benefit of what would be good for them. To take advantage of our free strategy session where we analyze your business and come up with a solution that you can then implement into your own business. Do you see how that could work for you? Again, you ask this question, do you see how that could work for you to get that yes that we're looking for? Here's another one. Just send your information. Excuse me. I'll be happy to get that out to you. Let me ask you a few more questions to make sure I have the correct information in my contacts. Then you ask a qualifying question. Just out of curiosity, if I could show you how to, and then explain how your services would benefit and help them, would you seriously consider using our service to help you? Again, this is very important, especially in the sales world. You ask a question, if I could do so and so, would you buy from us? Here's another example. We're all taken care of and happy. Or we're all taken care of and or happy. Well, I'm glad to hear you're taking the proper steps to marketing your business. Again, if you see a common theme here, we're always saying, wow, good job, we're happy to hear. You're almost boosting their ego. You're letting them know that it's okay. So I'm glad to hear you're taking a proper step to marketing your business. With that said, if you ever found it necessary to find another vendor, could I be the first one you contact to see how I can be of benefit to your needs? If you get a yes, great. I'll go ahead and send you some of my contact information. But do me a favor and keep it in your records so you'll have it handy when you need me, with your marketing efforts. Get all their contact information, then ask, great, just out of curiosity, Joe or John or Peter, Paul, Mary, whoever you're speaking with, use their first name. What would have to happen for you to want to contact a vendor? And then from there, qualify and expand on that answer. Here's the big one. We don't have the budget. This is where you need to play a little safe and sincere and acknowledge that they have a problem, right? So again, use the first name. I'm not ready to talk about money, and I wouldn't expect you to be ready to buy from someone you don't even know either. So let's do this. Give me a few minutes of your time, and let's see if our services would work for you. If it makes sense, then we can talk about how we can implement the marketing plan. Does that seem fair? Again, you're trying to get a yes. Does that seem fair? Yeah, that seems really fair, man. That's awesome. That's the kind of answer you're looking for. Or here, I put a second one in here because this is a very important one. So Joe, Paul, Peter, Mary, if I told you I had a way to turn $300 into $2,000 in a few months, you'd find a way to get me that money right now, wouldn't you? Well, yeah, and that's what you're hoping for. You're looking for that yes. Well, I can't begin to determine if I can make that happen unless you give me a few minutes of your time to determine if I could at least make that possible. Is that worth a few minutes of your time? Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, I'd love to see how I can turn $300 into $2,000. Well, there you go. Those are the type of answers that you want to hear, that you want to practice, so you can handle these objections that you'll hear almost every time you pick up the phone. The good old negative gatekeeper. Everybody deals with a negative gatekeeper. A negative gatekeeper could be a person you grab them on the bad time. They woke up on the wrong side of the bed that morning. So dealing with a gatekeeper is much easier than people make it out to be. They need to be treated with respect. They deserve it after all, right? And by doing this, that respectable gesture, you'll be amazed on how much it could actually come back and help you. So you'll hear the assistant say, well, Joe, John, Peter, Mary isn't here right now. Can I take a message? This is where you'll say, yes, I'd love to leave a message, but real quick, Perhaps you can help me first. You've been working for a long time with the prospect's name. You're probably pretty close with them. Yeah, I'm pretty close with them. Okay. Well, that's great. Let me ask you, how is he or she handling their marketing? Find out that kind of information. Ask them, who are they using right now? How does the decision process work? When are they making that decision? When do they make their decisions? What's important to them? Or when is the best time to reach them? That's a very important one. Most people give up when faced with objection. The key is to make sure you don't get thrown off track the first time that prospect throws you a curveball. This is where your practice will pay off, and this is where you will become the top seller in your place of business. It's for the appointment setters, and again, appointment setting and telemarketing is the same thing. Don't start talking like a salesperson with a prospect to ask you a question. Be honest with your prospect and let them know that you're calling on behalf of an expert who can answer all the questions you might have. And actually, that's why I'm calling. I'm calling to see if I can set up a time to speak with our expert. I have this day and that day. Which one works best for you? Sometimes you just have to revert to old school, which I said earlier. But the main question is, if I could, would you? If I can show you in a short amount of time how I can get you a new, fresh, flood of fresh new clients through your door, would you take the call? Or is it a bad time? Again, you're acknowledging that their time is worth a lot of money. Sometimes getting the first no out of the way is the most important part. So by asking them, is this a bad time? If they say no, that's considered a positive no. That means, I'm not busy, but I'd like to hear what you have to say. So don't take too much of my time. This will help you actually get a warmer second call. Always ask for the appointment. Always ask for the appointment. I cannot say this enough. Always ask for the appointment. If you don't ask for the appointment, you will never get it. How can somebody give you an appointment if you don't ask for it? So you can say stuff like, can I put you down for 10 minutes? Is there a way I can compete for your business? Or I'd love to at least send you some information. Can I email you or have my boss call you in a few days? An example of a script would be, this is so-and-so and I work with this company in this town. Did I catch you at a bad time? No? Okay, I'll be brief. Then you ask a qualifying question. I have you as the person to talk to in your firm regarding marketing decisions. Yes. If you hear no, you'll say no. Okay, sorry. Who would I need to speak with about this? Or if you get a yes, you say, great. Are you currently using an online platform to market your business? Again, you ask that question. You're trying to get the answers that you're looking for. They'll say yes, more than likely. But what would it take for us to be able to compete for your business? Oh yeah, well, I'd like to send you my information. What's the best email I can send this to? And that concludes our training. What to take from this training. It's okay to make mistakes. Just learn from them. Let the mistakes make you a better, stronger telemarketer or appointment setter. And rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. This is the most important part of this manual, is to rehearse. Know the business like you know the back of your hand. And be yourself. Act like you do with your friends and family. Good luck. So this is what I would do when I'm training my telemarketing reps or sales rep. So go ahead and rewrite this packet, rewrite this training manual to fit your business needs, and then go ahead and train your staff just like I just did. You'll get a lot of questions at the end. Go ahead and tell them to wait till the end to answer all the questions you have, and this packet will help make your staff, your telemarketers, the best telemarketers around. So good luck, and thanks again.
Welcome to Local Sales Automation, Module 3, Section 2, Management Process. In this video, we're going to talk about the management responsibility, performance metrics, performance review, accountability, the compensation model. Then we're going to go over homeworks and next steps. So let's get started. So the management responsibility, as a manager or a business owner, it's your responsibility to not only hire but train and manage your staff. You can't just hire staff and expect that they're going to be able to do their job without your guidance and direction. If it's a skill that you're not good at or you're weak in, well, then you need to hire a manager, somebody that will take on that responsibility on your behalf, right? And so in this graphic, you can see there's a coaching and feedback model that you need to follow. All right, so initially, and the dates are all relative, depends on when you start. But if you were going to be starting this process in August, um, you would basically start with initially doing some goal setting with the employee, and then you would do a mid-year review around the end of November, then a year-end review around May or so. Then you do a merit decision, which is basically whether or not they're going to get promoted, or whether or not they're going to receive a raise, or whether or not they might get put on a performance improvement plan, which is also a possibility. Performance improvement plan is basically a 90-day plan that you put a employee on if they're not performing at the level they should be, and you give them 90 days to raise their level of performance, or else they'll be terminated at the end of that 90 days. So this is a very important feedback loop here for you, because it's your responsibility to set the goals, give them the training that they need and the guidance that they need so that they can excel, and then hold them accountable to that, and reward them or discipline them accordingly. Performance metrics, well, there's 4 quadrants here. There's the balance between doing it fast, doing it right, doing it on time, and keep on doing it. So you want to basically hold them accountable in each of those areas. You want it done fast, but it has to balance. Fast has to balance with getting it done right, right? And you want them to be able to maintain that type of a pace while maintaining quality. So, and it's a fine line. You want to hold them accountable to a certain amount of work being completed, but the quality has to be up there, and it has to be ongoing and consistent. So if you don't have the right person, and the person either can't move fast with quality, or just can't get it, then maybe it's time to start looking at other resources. But you have to be measuring that in order to know whether or not they're fulfilling in each of those quadrants. And in order to measure, you have to be tracking that. So you want to be tracking the employee performance, and again, if they're not performing, then you put them on a performance improvement plan. And we're going to look at the end in the homework. We're going to take a look at the employee performance tracking and improvement sheets. So performance review, right? So you're going to measure and track how they're doing in each area. So this is one of the tools that's in the tool area of this module that you should be using, where you put in the employee name, the department, who's reviewing, which is probably most likely going to be you, today's date, the date of the last review, and then look at each of the areas that you want to hold them accountable for. Now, these are just basic areas that a sales rep, even an appointment center, should be held accountable for. You can go in and change these if you need to. And there's also space there to write in other areas that you want to track. And you have excellent, good, fair, and poor. If they are, getting multiple areas in poor, you got to consider a performance improvement plan. If there's just a few poor and a few fair and the rest are good and excellent, well, then you set the goal of improving those areas that are lagging behind. And you want to see steady improvement towards good and excellent each time you do these reviews. Here's the accountability aspect. This is an example of an employee performance improvement plan. So this is a PIP, is you might have heard it referred to by some companies out there. It's a fairly standard item in a company to put somebody on a PIP, or a performance improvement plan. You can decide whether it's going to be a 30-day, a 60-day, or 90-day. I think a 90-day is very fair for someone to to give people enough time to turn things around. If things steadily get worse during the first month or two during a performance improvement plan, then you don't go the full 90 days. You cut them loose. Remember, hire slow, fire fast, always. But anyway, this has those same areas of measurement for consistency, and if you're filling one of these out, you would check off under improvement area or put an X or a check mark in the box specifying that that's an area they need to improve on, and then you'd specify the due date, and then you would sign, the employee would sign at the bottom, and then on the due date you'd review with the employee, and if they had improved it, then you would initial under achieved, that they achieved that and that they were successful in their performance improvement plan. If they did not, then be grounds for termination. So the compensation model. So the compensation model I use in my business, and we'll use that as an example, and then you can adjust accordingly based on how you want to run your business. But I run a commission-only structure. I only want to talk to reps that are confident enough in their abilities to sell that they're going to be comfortable with this commission structure. It's a very generous commission structure for the right people. 10% of for the life of the client of each month. So if, say for instance, a client is paying $2,500 a month for my services, that's going to be $250 a month that the sales rep receives for that client every single month, as long as that client is a client, and as long as the sales rep is an employee, they're going to get that every single month. Now they're only getting paid on sales. There's no base salary, there's nothing, no compensation or anything like that other than this. But that 10% is very generous as far as commission models go, and there's no cap on it, so they can make a lot of money. And the reason I have it be 10% each month rather than just one larger amount the first month is I want them to have skin in the game each and every month of the life of that client. That makes them indirectly act like an account manager, because if a client is not happy and they leave, then the sales rep will no longer be getting that 10% each month for that client. So it's in their best interest to make sure that they stay in contact with that client and always be making sure that the client is happy and satisfied. So it's just, it's compensating them for helping to create long-term relationships with the clients. Excuse me. The rep will also forfeit all commissions if they fail to make any sales within a 60-day period. And the reason I do this is because I do not want a rep that's going to come in, build a book of business, and then just sit on their butt and do nothing and just collect commissions. That's just not the way I run it. So they have to be actively selling in order to keep and maintain those commissions. So if they get lazy and just stop making sales and 60 days go by where they have not made a sale, then they lose all commissions that they have for everything they've sold. So, and you can do that, or you could just basically turn off the commissions until they make a sale and then turn them back on. It's up to you how you want to do it, but if someone doesn't make a single sale in 60 days, they have no place working for me anyway. Especially if they built a book of business and then just all of a sudden stop. They definitely don't have a place. I will show them the door. So that's how that works, and I full disclosure of that up front in the compensation model, because there's no surprises for me, no surprises for them. This is the way it is. If they want to work with me, that's what they're doing. That's what they have to agree to. And then all rep commissions discontinue upon termination of employment of services for any reason. And because everybody's employee at will, and if they're doing a good job and they're selling, then obviously you want to retain them. But if they're not selling, or they're problematic, or they're upsetting clients, then you want to get rid of them. And obviously, if you get rid of them, then you're not going to continue to pay them. So let's take a look at the homework. So in the homework, there's a job description sheet that you're going to take a look at for the sales rep job that describes the job. Then you've got the performance tracking sheet that we saw in this presentation, and the performance improvement sheet in this presentation as well. So you're going to want to put those somewhere safe where you can get to them easily, so you have those available as you start hiring and bringing on your sales reps. The next steps in Module 4, Part 1, we're going to talk about hiring for success. So that's real exciting. That's where we really get into the hiring process and bringing on the right people. So I will see you in the next video. Welcome to Local Sales Automation, Module 4, Part 1, Hiring for Success. In this module, we're going to talk about hiring a sales rep. We're going to take a look at the Craigslist ad that you're going to be using, talk about following up with them prior to the interview. Then we're going to talk about the interview itself, and then training, training the resource, which is really the next module, but we're going to hint towards kind of what that's going to look like. Then we're going to go over the homework and then the next steps. So let's get started. So hiring a sales rep. A sales rep role, they need to be strong candidates, right? So when you're going through this process, and it's going to be uncomfortable for some of you that are a little more compassionate, because you're going to get a little mean with these folks, because you really want to filter out the ones that are going to be good sales reps and versus the ones that are going to be bad sales reps. You're literally going to make them fight for the job. You're going to tell them that you don't think they have what it takes. You're going to tell them that they don't seem very strong in sales, and you're going to sit back and watch as they either cower and run away, or they push back and fight for the job. And the ones that push back and fight for the job, those are the ones you want. So the hiring steps are, first you're going to put an ad in Craigslist. You could also use the same ad in Monster.com or any place online that you want to do that. Then the people are going to respond to the ad. Then you're going to call them up, or they're going to call you. You're going to have a very brief conversation on the phone with them to pre-qualify them. Then, if they pass muster on that pre-qualification call, then you're going to call them in for an interview. And then if then based on that, you'll either hire them or not. And then you're going to, once you hire the ones you do hire, you're then going to train them. So what does the Craigslist ad look like? Well, here's an example. You can rewrite this any way you want, but this works really well. Wanted sales superstars with a passion for success. 50K to 250K. Please don't waste our time if you're not a sales superstar. If you are a superstar, then you will never stop until the prospect buys or dies. You will close on leads provided, but not stop there. You will prospect and find new business on your own. Clients will love you because they know you care and you mean it. You will persuade business owners to take action on a great opportunity because you build rapport and trust. You excel in everything you do in life. You can prove that you have what it takes to be a true superstar. Like I said, we want only superstars. If you are not a superstar, then you are wasting your time and my time, so don't call. This position has an excellent salary and very high commission structure for those that want it. It is a great opportunity for promotion upward. Build a financial windfall for us and for yourself within our high-end modern company. We don't care about your resume. We are looking for superstars who will perform at the highest level. So there you have it. So you're basically cutting right to the chase. Don't waste our time. You're going to get some people that call up that are clearly not qualified. They're wasting your time. But you'll find out very quickly on that pre-qualification phone call whether or not you want to call them in for an interview. You're letting them know that they're going to be compensated really, really well. You also let them know that you don't necessarily care about their resume and what their job history is. You're looking for somebody that's going to perform at the highest level, regardless of what their past looks like. So that's some of the key takeaways there from that. Also, you want the go-getters that are not going to just rely on leads to be handed to them, that they're just going to keep prospecting to find new business on their own. So you clearly state that. So then you're going to follow up, right, on phone. They're either going to call you or you're going to call them for a phone screen. Challenge the candidate. Say something like, you really don't sound like a sales superstar. Or prove to me you're a sales superstar. I'm just not hearing it in your voice. You don't sound very convincing. You're going to have some people that'll be like, oh, okay, well, thanks anyway. Those are people you wouldn't want to hire anyway, because they're going to do the same thing when they're out trying to sell. When someone says, I'm not interested, they're going to be like, oh, okay, thanks anyway, right? You want the ones that are going to say, well, no, what are you talking about? I'm a great sales superstar. Here's why. Boom, 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 boom. And, and they continue to, not take rejection. Those are the ones who say, all right, well, maybe we should talk in person. And then you would set up an in-person interview with them. But see, what you've done is right off the bat, you're going to get rid of 3/4 of the people that reach out to you by disqualifying them just by challenging them over the phone. They're going to cower down, or some of them might even get angry at you and swear at you. Be ready for that too. But you're going to figure out pretty quickly who you want to bring in for an interview, and it's going to save you a lot of time. Make them convince you. It's going to save you so much time and stress by dealing with the folks that aren't going to cut it on the phone rather than in person. And then when they come in for the interview, there's a few parts to the interview here. First, you're going to talk and build rapport with them, get buddy-buddy, be personal at the beginning, so that they put their guard down a little bit. So ask them about their family, or what are some of their fondest memories, or what do they like to do for a hobby, or do they have kids? Build a little bit of rapport like that, right? And then after you've kind of built that rapport with them and they've got their guard down a little bit, then switch gears. Do the good cop, bad cop. Become the bad cop and tell them, say, you're really not a good fit for this, or you're not strong enough for the job. I don't think it's going to work. And see what happens. There's going to be a few people who are going to say, well, all right, well, thanks for meeting with me. And then you're going to have those few that fight back and say, well, wait a second, I'm perfect for this job. And they're going to convince you that they're good for that job. Those are the people you want to hire. Then you're going to perform the training, which we're going to talk about in the next module. You're going to have like sort of an orientation that can be in person, it can be on the phone, it can be via video conferencing. You can even just create a training video that you make them watch. And then you're going to discuss it and then start to educate them on the services you offer. Then you're going to coach them on doing a consultation. How to do a consultation with a customer. And then you're going to discuss with them the most common objections and do some objection handling. And I found that it's really helpful for you to invest a little bit of time, at least 1 or 2 phone calls with them, doing some role playing, where they act as the vendor, you act like you're the customer, and go through and throw some objection handling in there and really, practice. It's much better to practice in the controlled environment with you than it is for them to be out practicing with potential clients and losing that business, right? So, role playing is real important. Sometimes people get lazy with that. That's not where you want to be lazy. So let's talk about the homework. So in the homework, you're going to take a look at the Craigslist ad template. Go ahead, post it on Craigslist. The last I checked, I think it's $20 or $25 to post an ad on Craigslist. Money well spent. Just go ahead and post it now. Just get it over with and start getting those sales reps coming in the door, because you're only going to be compensating them commission. So you're only going to be paying them if they make you a sale. So it's a win-win. Just get that ad out there. Start getting those people in. There's no reason to wait whatsoever. You want to get that business coming through the door. And then as those people are responding to the ad, you're going to get a lot of people responding. Pre-qualify them, right? Over the phone. Challenge them. Say, hey, you don't really sound like a superstar, and see what they do. See how they react. And then the cream of the crop, the cream will rise to the top. Those are the people you call in for an interview. Remember, build that nice rapport with them. Sort of be their buddy, and then become bad cop and tell them that they're really not right for the job. Let them fight for that job. And those few that you end up with are going to be superstars. So the next steps, in Module 5.1, we're going to talk about training for success. So how to take these folks that you've just hired and now start to train them. And this is really going to be fun, because this is where you teach them all about your vision and your goals for your company, and about the compensation model and the company culture, and then what the expectations are and their sales quota and how they're going to be rewarded. All these things in the training. So we'll see you in the next video. Welcome to Local Sales Automation, Module 5, Training for Success. In this module, we're going to talk about training for success. Basically, the sales rep training, the orientation process, the services, the pre-qualification, the consultations, the objection handling, and the closing techniques, as well as role playing. So training for success. So better training materials, in training process means you're going to end up with better employees. You can't hold employees accountable to anything that they're not trained on. And structured training means consistent results and manageable, scalable growth. It also means that you're going to have more consistency in how the people are performing their job. So sales rep training, you can't teach personality. So you can teach almost anything else. So you want to go for the people that have the right traits to that are people that are willing to invest in. And some of those traits would include integrity, perseverance, determination, not being scared, not giving up. And you can teach them about the product and the services, objections, and closing techniques, but they got to have those fundamental personality traits first. And role playing is an absolute must. You have to do role playing. You got to take the time to do it. And the cool thing is after you have your first sales rep hired, as you bring on others, that sales rep can be sort of a supervisor type of sales rep, and they can be doing role playing with the new sales reps. Orientation training. The orientation should cover your vision and values that we talked about in earlier modules, as well as it should look at your 5-year plan for the company. They should be aware of what your 5-year plan is and be part of shaping that and guiding that. Also, you want to cover what the compensation model is so that there's no misunderstandings or anything as far as compensation goes. Also, expectations. You want to properly set expectations and make sure that they're performing at the level they should be, that they're being measured and held accountable to the areas that they're supposed to be performing in. The services training. Well, you're going to have to educate them about the services, but you can educate them about the services at a conceptual higher level, um, because they're not going to have to know how to do every little detail of every little service in order to sell it. They just need to know what the service is, what the value is, and what that means in a transformation for the business owner. Remember the saying, you don't have to be an electrician to turn on a light switch, right? And it's the same idea as, let's say, an accountant that performs bookkeeping services for a plumber. Well, they don't know how to change a hot water heater, right? But they know enough about the plumbing industry to provide good service for that plumber. So we're the same thing. We are the marketing experts. We might not know a real lot about their business in particular, but we know enough to do the services. And the same goes for your sales reps. They might not know how to do search engine optimization or a pay-per-click campaign, but they know enough about it to be able to speak about it and explain to the business owner the benefits for their business and talk about some of the return on investment. And that'll all be covered in the training that you give them. And the sales rep job is to sell, not to do fulfillment. Just remember that, right? It's the two completely different roles in your organizational chart. So pre-qualifying prospects training. So you want to talk about the appointment setting. There's an audio file in the tools section of this training that you can listen to. That's a sample phone call setting the appointment. That pre-qualifying. There's certain things that are covered during that call that you want to make sure that you're training them on. You can actually just have your sales reps listen to that audio file because it's not branded, so you can just, it's white label. You can just basically use it in your business. You can follow a script if you prefer, and you pre-qualify on yes or no after the consultation. Let them know that you're gonna if things go well, you're gonna ask them to move forward with the action plan you help them with. But keep in mind that it's also okay for them to say no. But you want them to know that there's no, maybe is not an option. It's either yes or no at the end of the consultation. And you want to make sure that all the decision makers are going to be present for the meeting. So that's real important as well. Consultation training. So when they're doing the consultation, You want to develop your consultation framework. Now, each company is going to be a little different, right? Are you doing strategy sessions? Are you doing consultations? Are you doing a website audit? Are you doing a reputation report? Are you demonstrating a mobile app or a mobile website? You got to figure out what your consultation is going to look like. This training is not to decide for you um, what your consultation is going to look like. That's just not what this is about, because each business is going to be different. But you do need to iron that out and nail that down, and then teach the framework of that to your reps, right? The sales process, should have steps. There should be multiple steps. Building rapport, and then probing questions, and then identifying the solution for those problems, and then closing, and then next steps, and then document the outcome after each sales call. Are there next steps? What's going to happen? What did you do well? What did you not do well? So you can use that for learning and also follow up. Objection handling training is very important. In the tools part of this module, you'll see that there are some objection handling. Um, Most common objections that the people go and bring in front of you are mentioned there. So there's no money. I have to consult my business partner, or I don't have time, or or I'm going to go ahead and do it myself, or have my team do it. Those are probably the four that we hear the most. So in the tools area, there's one of the homework items you're going to do, and then closing techniques. There's different ways to close, so you can present to them a few options and then ask them which they prefer. Or a softer close would be to present an action plan to them of the best way to proceed, and then just say to them, let's get started. Or another way to do it is to talk about the action plan, get them excited about it, and then just ask them, want me to help you set it up, or do you want my help with this? So those are three different ways you can close. You can decide which one is going to be best for your business based on what you're selling and what your consultation looks like. But all three of those are effective. Role-playing training, you definitely want to do role-playing. You want to do role-playing for the pre-qualification phone call, so you're going to want to listen to that in the tools section, and also look at the phone script. Also, the running of a strategy session, you're going to want to look at that strategy session or consultation, whatever you call it. You're going to want to think about what your framework's going to be, and then come up with the steps for that, and then make sure you're training your sales reps on how to perform that. And then common objections. You need to drill them on this. They need to practice over and over again, either with you, with each other, but definitely practice the objections. And then the closing techniques. You definitely want them to learn all three of those closing techniques and then use the one that they're most comfortable with. So let's talk about the homework. So in the homework, you're going to develop your training program, right? So we have the attached in the tools area a PowerPoint presentation that walks through the training that I use for my sales reps when I hire them, and you can just adopt that as is, or you can go in and change it or whatever, but it covers all those areas. And so you're going to want to make sure you look through that and put any tweaks you want into it. But those are all areas that need to be covered. So your homework is really going to be to go in and play around with that and tweak it to your satisfaction. And it's a long training program. So what we've done is all the tools that were mentioned in this homework, they're all roll up into that training slide deck. And then there's also the recording of the pre-qualification call, so you can see how it's done, as well as a video of walking through this training as well. So you can actually just sit your rep down in front of the training videos and the audio with the PowerPoint presentation, and then they can go through and be fully trained, salesperson. So next steps are in Module 6, Part 1. We're going to talk about scaling it up. So how to take what you've learned here and then turn up the volume and magnify it and really grow your business. So I will see you in the next video. Welcome to Local Sales Automation, Module 6, Part 1, Scale It Up. So in this module, we're going to talk about reviewing the training for success, and what that means for your business as far as scaling it up. And then we're also going to talk about other training opportunities. So we're going to talk about the admin assistant training, the appointment setter training, and then some more tips on sales rep training. So let's get started. So scale it up. So why are you in business, right? You want to grow, right? Do you want to grow or do you want to sell? So in order to grow your business, you need to be making sales. So you need to get these pieces in place, these people trained, so you can grow. And once you have a system that works, right? Almost think of it like a franchise, even though it's not a franchise, you can duplicate that system, right? So remember in the earlier modules when we were doing the organizational charts, further down the road as we were replicating, we had then a sales manager that was then managing sales reps, was sort of one of the next steps. And then beyond that was having multiple locations, each having a sales manager managing sales reps. So you can just scale this up accordingly as long as it's all systemized, right? Because you're duplicating the system, right? And it's not relying on a particular person. It's a system of systems, and the system runs the business. And you're going to allow your best reps to manage the other reps because you want to teach best practices. You're not going to put a sales rep in charge because you're buddies with them or they're a relative or something like that. You're going to pick whoever is doing the best job, and that's the one you're going to promote because they're going to teach that level of performance to the people they work with. And you're going to stick to the plan, right? Just keep in mind, the shiny object syndrome. Shiny objects will detract you from your path. So you need to keep on track. And what I do is whenever I see a new tool or new course or new, any kind of thing that looks cool, I will force myself to justify how is this either going to save me money or make me money in my business, my current business model. And if it's not going to save me money or make me money in a very specific way, or if it's just another tool that solves a problem that I already have a solution for, then I really have to justify why I would do that. So to stay focused. Also, plan your work and work your plan. I know that's a cliche, but plan everything. Have a plan. Have that 5-year plan for your business, and have an idea of what that's going to look like with your org charts. Have your vision statement. Have your goals. Have everything. Your company culture. Make sure that you have it all planned out so that this growth and expansion of your company is following a plan and not by accident, right? A good plan wins every single time. Outsourcing, right? So outsourcing is really great. You can outsource everything. You can outsource fulfillment for clients. You can even outsource sales. There's companies out there that will assign a sales rep or telemarketers to you, and they'll do everything for you. You don't have to do anything. They just go out there and sell. It's all a matter of what you want to do, and clearly define the pain points of your market. What keeps them up at night? It's certainly not, they don't sit there and say to themselves when they're trying to fall asleep, boy, I hope I get another star on my reputation, or boy, I hope my keyword term chiropractor Clearwater moves from the 4th spot to the 3rd spot by next week. They don't care about that. What they care about is, boy, I hope I can pay the bills. Boy, I hope I can put my kids through college. I hope I don't go out of business. I hope the lights don't get shut off. I hope I get more customers. I hope I retain the customers I have. Those are the things that they worry about. So you want to make sure that you keep that in mind and make that the core of your message, right? Map the pain points into specific solutions, right? So you have specific solutions to solve those pain points, right? So you want to make sure that you have a framework in place to do that. Evaluate various solution vendors. So once you figure out what the pain points are for your target market and then map the solutions to solve those pain points, then you're going to evaluate what are your options for vendors that can help solve those pain points. And then you're going to establish your cost, your margin, and your pricing. So how much is it costing you to fulfill the services, both from outsourcing plus any administrative work you have to do? How much is your markup or your margin going to be? And then what are you going to be charging? What's your pricing model going to be? And remember, outsourcing is much more scalable than trying to do everything yourself. So remember, you want to replace yourself one role at a time. So start cloning yourself out of a job, one role at a time on your org charts. Replicate your success. Allow the system and the employees to manage through processes. Automate wherever you can. Take a look at Local Autopilot, the Local Autopilot system, which is a marketing automation platform for local marketers that's built on the SunPepper Office Autopilot platform. Use something like that to automate your campaigns and your client management and your Salesforce automation. Create a system of systems, right? If you've ever read the book E-Myth by Michael Gerber, awesome book. It's all about creating a system of systems and allowing the systems to run the business. And that way you can focus on working on your business, right? And not in your business, right? You have to make that distinction. If you're busy working in your business day to day, you're caught up in the day to day putting out fires, there's no way you can be strategic and work on your business and guide the direction of your business. So keep that in mind. You should live by those words. Let the system manage. Automation is key. Let your employees do their jobs. Don't micromanage. If they're not performing, let the system put them on a performance plan and then counsel them right out the door and replace them. But let the system run the business. Don't micromanage. Follow the damn instructions, right? Don't overcomplicate it. Just follow the instructions and do it. And then track your numbers. Track what's working and what's not working. So what's your homework? Well, you're going to set it up so that you're doing a quarterly review, an annual review, and annual planning. So there's tools for that in the tools section. You're going to cover those and get those in place so that you can follow those and make those an automatic part of your business. So I hope you enjoyed this course, Local Sales Automation, and hope you take action and implement each and every assignment that has been in the 6 modules and all the homework, and you take action, get that ad placed in Craigslist, get those people interviewed, get those people on board and trained and selling for you so you can scale it up. Make sure you take advantage of those bonus trainings as well. If you qualified for the bonus, if you got in time and got the bonus, with the training for the appointment setters and the admin assistant, and let this take your business to the whole new level. But anyway, I look forward to hearing your feedback in Facebook group, as well as reach out to me. Go to eddowns.com and fill out the form there to get on my mailing list. You get my weekly newsletter, plus you get my contact info if you ever have any questions. And I've really enjoyed doing this course for you, and I hope to hear all about your success stories. Anyway, have a great day.
Hey everybody, this is Ed Downs, and welcome to this video where we're going to talk about using the phone script. So this is part of the Local Autopilot rollout program, and this training is going to teach you how to use the phone script to do appointment setting after you have already gone through the doomsday letter process or any other process, and then you get to the point where it's time to get somebody in person or on a webinar. So let's take a look. So here's the script. It's pretty simple. First, you want to make sure you get a hold of the person that has made the request or filled the form out. I do that if I get a gatekeeper or somebody else. I let them know that I'm returning a call, or somebody sent me an email or filled out a form on my site, and that I'm just getting back to that person with the information that they requested. And a lot of times there's 2 situations where this would be good. One is somebody has filled out a form on your website to request one of the free reports, and so you want to always try to call that person first to verify, let them know you want to verify the mailing address, so that you can send them the report. and that also you want to get permission because you're going to be calling them back in a week or two to find out if they had any questions on the report, and you want to get their permission to do that. Then, before you get off the phone, after you've gotten their address and after you've gotten permission to call them back, then you say, hey, you know what? I just thought of something. I'm actually going to be right near you over the next 2 days. Why don't I just stop in and drop off a copy of the report in person? And a good number of times they will respond positively to that, and they'll say, sure, why not? Why not? And so that's sort of how this would be used. So first, you want to get a hold of the right person, and then you say, hi, Mr. So-and-so, this is so-and-so. We sent you a letter, with a personal video link, or you responded to a letter that we sent, or you filled out a form on our website. Whatever the case may be, obviously it's going to be different in each time you use this. You're going to respond accordingly. And you say, all right, so you filled out a form requesting a report that outlines a unique and exclusive internet marketing strategy that we're using to drive more qualified leads and customers, plumber customers like yours, to your site, or get them to respond to you. And then, let's see, how do I scroll when I'm recording the video? Let's see, like this. There we go. So, and then they say, yes, I did, request a report, or yes, I did see the video, or yes, I did, do whatever it was, and say, oh, that's great, what did you think of the report? And then hopefully they liked it, and they'll tell you, they say, that's great, well, I'm glad you liked it. Or if they say no, say, oh, that's okay, I'd be happy to fill you in on what you missed. So, a lot of times they're just, going to say, oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Say, oh, that's fine, don't worry about it, let me just quickly fill you in on what it is you missed, and then let me get your email address so I can send you another copy, or I'll send you another copy because I already have your email address, whatever that might be. Then you say, I know you're busy, so I'll be brief. As we mentioned in the letter, or on the video, or on the website, this is a very unique marketing strategy to help plumbing businesses like yours attract new customers and to help you grow your business. I've looked closely at your industry and the local competition and prepared a custom market report. Market report is very easy to do. It's in all the local business money machine training, where you're just evaluating their website and then looking at their competition and then seeing if they're on page one or who is on page one or whatever. You create a little report, and so create a custom market report that shows how people are searching for you or your business on the internet, and more likely, and more importantly, how you can get in front of those people and turn them into customers. Oh, interesting. So I'm hoping that that we can schedule a time when you can spend a few minutes, 15 to 18 minutes, and I can explain how the strategy works. And I would like to set up an appointment with either Ed or Brad. This is if you have your admin assistant doing it, or you can say with me. Let's set up an appointment with me on, I have open, you always want to give them two options. So I have, Wednesday or Thursday, which is better for you? Oh, Wednesday. Oh, great. I have appointment open. I have an opening in the morning and the afternoon, which is better? Oh, in the afternoon. Great. In the afternoon, I have 1 or 4, which is better for you? 4. So you're always, letting them be in control of the conversation, but you're guiding them to the outcome you want. So then at that point, you schedule the time and you meet with them. So there's all different ways to use this, and in the coming webinars that we're going to have, we're going to explore additional ways that you can use this phone script and improve your appointment setting rate as we go. But for now, this is enough information to get you started. And what I found is each time you're going to do a new campaign, the best thing you can do is go into the phone script, edit the phone script, make sure you put in the relevant information. Like at the beginning you saw how I mentioned video here, video link, then I mentioned free report. You want to make sure it's consistent and built around that campaign, so that if you have this in front of you and for the first bunch of calls you're kind of reading it or referring to it as you go, that it has the correct information in front of you, so that it flows nicer. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to see your comments below. And anybody that has experience with phone scripts or phone, always welcome the feedback and and any recommendations you can make to your peers to improve how to do this is appreciated by all, including myself. So anyway, obviously we want only positive comments below because we're creating a positive educational bonding and nurturing environment here. If you have something negative, I'd prefer to see that go through a support ticket so that we can handle that and fix it. So anyway, hope everybody had a good video here, and now it's time to move on to the next video. Thanks.